Okay, so let's take a quick look at this character here. We're gonna drop this character from Toons Unlimited. All right, so in this quick video, we're going to be taking a look at these characters from Toons Unlimited that were submitted by a customer named Tanya, and she is wanting to hide a certain outline from the mouth shape of the characters. Now, ultimately, it would be up to the developer to kind of, you know, take care of these little fixes and release a bug fix or whatever. Keeping in mind that G2 characters are really hard to do and they're very time consuming. They have a lot of parts, and it's very easy to overlook certain things. I've made very similar oversights myself. But if you want to get this taken care of as quickly as possible while you wait for a fix to be made, I guess we can take a look at that. So this is what the item in question is. Let's see here. We're gonna actually, that's not what I want to do. I'm gonna open it up to the sprite editor. We're gonna take a look at the sprites for the face. As you can see, the different sprites, they all look perfectly fine if you do them as is. Once you start trying to get a little fancy and stuff, you want to do alternative things. That's when it, you usually start noticing things. So notice here between the 14 and the 15 sprite, there's a very slight difference in the outline. It's not very noticeable, but it is there. And the reason is that some items, are drawn with outlines, what Flash recognizes as an outline, which is like a vector trajectory versus a fill. Now, artistically, an outline can also be done using a fill. But there is a technical difference between what's normally referred to as an outline versus fills. And a lot of these sprites are in fact drawn with outlines, whereas a sprite such as the 15, even though they look practically the same, this one was drawn with a fill. The end result is that when you try to do things like hide all outlines, so we're going to hide outlines. And everywhere that there is an actual vector outline, it will become hidden because it will detect that, vector outline and hide it. But outlines are not always vector outlines. They can be drawn with fills. And because some items are drawn with fills, they are not going to be recognized as outlines. And we have our first crash of the day. All right, let's launch CrazyTalk Animator one more time. Okay, so we are launching CrazyTalk Animator and dropping an instance of this character here. Now, the issue that we're looking at is an issue related to outline visibility. And basically, the customer that sent this in to me, this is not one of my characters. This is a character created by Toons Unlimited. Very, very well recommended artist. She does really good work. G2 characters are very difficult to make. There's a lot of parts involved, and you can't always keep track of everything. And I guess it's forgivable, to be honest, little things like this, because you don't always expect you don't always make contingencies for every single usage that your customers are gonna get out of your characters. So in this particular instance, the customer that sent this question to me, she wants to be able to hide the outlines and make it as the outlines as hidden as possible, especially with the face and skin stuff. So normally the way that you would do this is, if you are using what's called vector outlines, you could just go ahead and hide them here. Now there is a difference between what is a vector outline and what is a fill, even though outlines can be drawn with fills, and they're still outlines from an artistic standpoint, but from a technical standpoint, this is a shape or a fill, which can be manipulated to look like an outline. Whereas this line that was here on the face, that really is, from a technical standpoint, an outline. So easy enough, we have hidden this outline, correct? So the problem is that it's not hidden everywhere. So if we go into the sprite editor, when we actually make this character talk, she might pop in with a sprite that has an outline on the mouth. And we can kind of see here the 8, that's fine, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here's one. And then we go to 16, there's the 17, the 18, 19, 20, 21 has a little bit of an outline there. And from a technical standpoint, of course, again, those are not outlines, those are fills. Because they are drawn with fills, you can't hide them. Now, ideally, you want to avoid drawing with outlines anyways. You want to try to use fills whenever possible, because as far back as CrazyTalk Animator 2, there's been some major bugs involving the use of outlines. And I've always told people just to avoid them like the plague. So what we're doing here is we're just going to work around it. I'm sure that once this is brought to Janelle's attention, she will release an update, and anybody who's purchased these characters will have an updated version of this without having to go through all this stuff. But here is how you would probably work around it for now. We are going to drop a second instance, because I know Janelle does really good work on her characters, so I know her characters are render style compatible. And yeah, sure enough, there's the skin. So she has done her due diligence in creating render styles for her character. So we do have something with a skin modifier, and ideally the way that we would hide this would be to maybe hide this outline and assign it to maybe skin 1, so it'll match whatever this character's skin is. So we're gonna kind of work around this real quick. One of the easiest ways, without having to do too much work, we're gonna drop in a second instance of this character. And the reason we're doing this is because we're gonna hack the render style feature. Basically, if I were to take a character and have a different type of skin color, for example. Let me see here, just so you can see what's going on. So if I have a character with this skin color, I can take that skin color and use this fill bucket here and apply it to another character. All right, and so that took whatever styles are in this character, applied them to the second one, as long as they have matching vector groups. And in this case, this one has skin 1 assigned, and this one has skin 1 assigned, as well as other groups. So by doing this, I was able to take these colors and apply them to this character. Okay, hopefully that makes sense for now. So here's where the trick comes in. We're going to put everything back to normal. That way we have the standard colors as they are, because once we manipulate this on one of these characters, it is gonna do some wacky stuff, and that's on the CrazyTalk Animator side. That one of the ways that you really learn to work with this program is by learning to work around the bugs. So here we go. We are going to select that character and go into the character composer, and we're gonna select the face there. And notice that because we already have the outlines hidden, that's being hidden, you know, whatever. We're going to go with the character selected. We're going to go into the vector grouping tool. Okay, and here we can see all the sprites for the face. And because we have all the outlines hidden, everything with an outline is hidden, but you can see that we have a lot of these open ones here. So what I'm going to do is I could either do it as is right now, click on select same color and just start clicking around until something finds that outline. You can see how it's being highlighted now. Right there. So you can see that everywhere where that color is located is being highlighted because I chose the select same color option. Okay. So by doing that, I have all those items selected. Now I can apply them to a completely new style. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assign them because I just wanted to take the same color as the skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and select skin 1, hit apply. Now, because this was black, this is going to fuck up the rest of my character. Watch what happens when this stops. Because this was the last color used, some kind of version of black, everything else is going to turn black. We just got to wait for it to finish. If it doesn't crash. You're going to keep in mind that it's a really buggy tool. All right. So this is expected, okay? This bug exists and it's crap, I know it, but it is there, and by knowing about these bugs, we can work around it. So let's get out of here. We know that all this stuff is assigned. She looks hilarious. But we're going to take... Oh, no, it's going to crash. Oh, okay. Oh, that was scary. We're going to take the original character, since that one has the original color assigned to the skin 1, and we're going to reapply it to this character. Boom. All right. So now we have something that looks like this. If we select this character now and start clicking around with the sprites, you know that every single sprite is missing that outline. Now, granted, some of those outlines are hidden because I have the outline hidden, but it doesn't matter. So that is one way to sort of fix that. You're not 100% fixing it quite yet because she used the same color here that she used on some of the lips. So in some of the sprites, let's take a look at sprite 15, which is one of the main ones that had the issue. You can see that outline has been hidden. So she kind of looks weird, but it's not as jarring as having that other thing. Okay, so it might pass. It might pass. Also, I guess you can play around with, you know, maybe finding another mouth that's very similar. Let's see here. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe taking this sprite and copying it over and replacing something like that. I don't know. It just depends on how jarring it is to you. Basically, I mean, we've gotten rid of that outline essentially. So I don't know. But that is kind of how you would work around that from an easy standpoint. Let me see here. Of course, you can take this character now and save it. Actor custom. You know, just save it, and now you have it with the new settings. I didn't need to do that. But here's the character saved. All right, so I don't really need to have it there, so I'm going to delete it. But here we go. So we're going to take a look at the render styles thing again, and we're going to click show outlines. And we'll see if this is working across the board. So number 13, it doesn't have it. So even though it was hidden, it still applied that render style to the group, you know? So that's good. All right, so because we did it that way, technically, we don't have to use the hide outline option at all. We just basically blended the outline color into the skin color. And the same thing could be done to something like this. I mean, I suppose it just depends on how it was drawn. Let me see here. It would be a bit of a pain, I guess, to go through all of this. But technically, let's see here if it can be done. We'll see. We'll see what all is on that sprite. I think she has that rolled up sleeve there. No, it doesn't. So you could technically do it on this sprite as well. So see, there's one here, and technically that's a different color as that. So let's see if we can find the other one. That's that. Okay, so we're just gonna shift click on both. I meant control click. And we'll assign it to skin 1. And we get that nasty effect. We'll do it for the hands too, I guess. Why not? As long as we're messing around, right? See, there's that one is missing. It's a lot of hands. I'm just looking for empty slots here. That might have everything, I hope. I guess technically for this particular thing it doesn't matter too much, so we're gonna apply it to skin 1. That's gonna take a while. And it's almost done. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Boom, we end up with black. That's all right. We basically made arrangements for that. So here what we're gonna do is take that character again and apply it with the fill bucket thing. So we have kind of fixed that. Not really. I mean, it got rid of the whole black part. But then we end up with hands that look like that. But anyways, that's where the trick is. And I don't know what happened there. Maybe I should have stopped with the face, huh? All right, so let's go ahead and not worry about this. We are going to go with a little bit more, slightly more technical version on how to do this, and we're going to do this by creating a stylizer, a specialized stylizer. And the first thing I'm going to do is I guess I can go into Flash here and create a new project. We're going to create a single swatch stylizer. Okay, you can make stylizers for pretty much anything. In this case, I just want it to be used for a single style. I need my tools panel. Here we go. And let's see here. What color? I'm gonna start with something that's very highly visible. Oops. Yeah, that's good enough. We're gonna flip these over anyways. We don't need that outline. And since we're just using it for a single color, I guess it doesn't really matter. But we have to bring in the exact color that we want our style to be, because the color system in CrazyTalk Animator is pretty much garbage. That's why we have to go to an outside source. I'm going to use this little free program called Color Comp. And you can see how I'm able to navigate. I'm going to find the color that matches the skin. And FFCC93. All right, so I go in here. FFCC93. So I got the exact color of the skin right there. I'm gonna paint with that. Control Alt Shift S will export the movie, and we're gonna call it Stylizer. So what we're gonna do with this stylizer is that we're just gonna bring it into CrazyTalk Animator as a prop, and the easiest way to do that is to simply drag and drop it, and that kills the program. Great. Thank you, Reallusion, for such stable products. Let's try this again. Like I said, the best way to get the best out of anything that Reallusion creates these days is to pretty much become accustomed to the bugs and learning how to work with them. I'm going to try it again. Boom. There it is. And let's bring in that character. And there we go. So we have this thing here, but it's not quite a working stylizer just yet. It doesn't do anything by itself, but it is the same exact color as the skin that we need it to be. So what we do is I guess I could make it skin, but I don't want to go through all that black stuff. I guess I could still do it. I was going to call it outline or some other kind of group. That way it keeps it independent. But you know what? It might come a time when you want to change all the colors at once with the outline. So might as well keep it as skin 1. So we'll just keep that as the vector group name. So we'll select it. We'll go into the vector grouping tool here, and we'll find the color that we need, that one. We'll assign it to skin 1. And that's it. We'll get out of here. So now this is officially a stylizer. So we can save it as a prop. We're going to call it, did we save it? What are we doing? Oh, saved it twice somehow. I don't know. All right. Well, I only need one. Let's get rid of one. We'll take this one and we'll rename it. We'll call it Outline Fix. Okay. So we have our little stylizer that at any time we can always go into our library and drop it in here. So for this character, what we do is we'll take the character and go into the composer mode, right? And pretty much the same thing that we did earlier. We're going to select that body part. We're going to go into the vector grouping tool. And I didn't hide my outlines, so in this case you can see all my outlines, including the ones that were created with fills. I'm going to click on the select same color to make things easier. Okay, there they are. So it detected everything with that color. We're going to assign it to skin 1. And we're going to deal with the whole everything turning black situation. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And we're almost there. Are you not entertained? All right, so now that you have that skin tone thing going on, you can pretty much go in here and apply the stylizer to it. And when you do, that style gets applied to the skin and that outline because they both share the same vector group. Let's see, what else can we do with this stuff? Of course, if you come in here and let's see here. Let's go into let's find a better sprite. I don't necessarily find that one very entertaining. Let's yeah, she's got a little bit more attitude right there. Woo. Okay, that'll be good. I like that one. But anyways, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. If we take this stylizer at any time and we want to change it, we don't have to mess with this character. We could just adjust the stylizer, and we're gonna maybe give it more saturation, change the hue there. But I'm looking for something that looks more like a skin tone. Somewhere in there, there's a skin tone. All right. That might work, maybe. Okay. So once we have the right color that we want, we can apply that to our character, and it'll apply it to whatever this outline was with that skin. So basically what we did is that we merged them together. And as you can see, everywhere where the skin 1 is assigned, that has been updated by the stylizer. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. I mean, I know it's not a 100% fix for your situation, but it does allow you to kind of balance that out the way that you were looking to do. Good luck on balancing that color style with the hands. I mean, it looks like they're drawn a little bit different, but it's not bad, yo. Okay, let me know if there's anything else I can help out with. Thanks.